Hello, everyone. This is Under the Hive of Madness. We are back with another painting contest. This is our third painting contest of year one. This time, it was our fantasy-themed painting contest. We were looking for heroes and monsters on a 50 millimeter or 40 millimeter by 40 millimeter square base, for those of you who are into Warhammer Fantasy Battle and Age of Sigmar, to 100 millimeter base submission. The submissions didn't have to be fantasy miniatures, but we did encourage everybody to paint something up that was in the fantasy line. And we also didn't specify that the models had to be from Games Workshop this go around. The main reason that we had ended up setting this as the goal is we were all in, we were still all are, but at the time we were all pretty much deep into our own painting backlogs trying to get stuff done, and we had all kind of hit that wall and sort of fizzled out a little bit. And then there was that idea, like, how do you change it up? Well, you know, if you're painting sci-fi spacemen all the time, change it up by painting a troll or a dragon or something like that.
Sci-fi space trolls.
That's right, sci-fi space trolls, right? So that's what we did. We have our hosts paintings. Those will be up later on, probably before the episode drops. Those will be up for you guys to vote on. And yeah, the next painting contest has already started. That is our Halloween painting contest. So we are doing monsters specifically this time. So instead of it being a fantasy hero or a fantasy creature, now we're looking at actually like do something Halloween-y, do something spooky, do something scary. That's what we want to do. So this time around, we are looking for Monster Mania. As the month of spooky approaches, this is our horror, monster, and Halloween-themed painting contest. We are looking at heroes or monsters of at least 40 millimeter bases or above. Your submission doesn't have to be gory, but we'd love to see some Orktober goodness if you're so inclined. So if that hits your fancy, you can join us on Patreon anytime. Jump right into that painting contest. You have until October 31st to get those submissions to us. And yeah, we're looking forward to it. I'm super looking forward to this one. I don't know about you guys.
Oktoberfest.
Most Def.
Yep. What's up?
Said Most Def.
Oktoberfest.
Most Def.
Oktoberfest it is.
Gotcha. Hell yeah. Yeah, I'm hoping we'll get some orc submissions. I'm not painting an orc, but I probably should be. All right, so without further ado, we're going to jump right into the painting contest entries for our third contest. Again, this is fantasy. So up here on screen, we have Ickbard's submission. What do you guys want to grab that, Lore?
Goddamn. Yeah. You want it done?
I don't mind. Yeah. I'll take it. Okay, so the reading for this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, looks about like 5 paragraphs or 5 longer sentences. Here we go. So this is from Ickbard. All who heed me, lend me your ears. Corndis, I'm gonna guess. Corndis, await my brother and stave off the apocalypse. I thought that said apocalypse.
I think he put op cornelips. Op
Okay,
corn.
so
I think there's a corn
pork
thing going on here.
I think I read that as pork. Porcalypse. He wishes to release upon our home. He tried to corner me in his temple, but I escaped, and now we'll slay him by hand. Now I defend the final relic he needs to bring his ruination, hidden inside the maze. Oh, that's funny. He spelled that maze as in corn.
Everything is a corn. Yeah.
No matter his ambitions, I will guard this place as he stalks these hallowed waters. May he drown. I'm trying to read it seriously and I can't. May he drown under the waves, sinking under the weight of my scorn. Emphasis on the C-O-R-N. That's pretty funny. Leave it to Ick to do something like that. I literally can't read it without like laughing about it or having to break it apart because there's corn in every sentence.
So this is a super awesome dragon. I really like it. Ickbard is at, as far as the scoreboard goes, Ickbard is at 22 points after counting up everything in the community and adjusting for his lore bit. That's pretty dope model. I really like what he did here.
It's Draco.
Yeah, it's super cool. I like that it's a gold dragon, gold copper dragon. I like the water effect on the base.
And this is a proper dragon, for those of you who are the nerds out there. It has 4 limbs and wings. Hence, proper. It's a proper dragon.
And I'm pretty sure this is an Age of Sigmar model. I don't think the dragons belong to any particular army, but it kind of looks like the Stormcast Eternal armor. You guys have any first opinions on this guy before we jump to the next one?
No, I'm going to wait.
Fucking, what do you wait for what?
I'm going to wait till I give my depth.
Our votes. I got it. Yeah, let's go through everything and then we'll come back. I like that.
All right.
No talking, Marky.
Yeah, you shut your mouth, Mark.
So next up we have Mullins. I will go ahead and read Mullins. As the invasion of the planet continued, the Hive tyrant stalked the battlefield, surrounded by his entourage of tyrant guard and synapse creatures, bouncing his orders and tactics among the fodder that surged forth like a sea around him. All at once, a surge of light brighter than the sun struck the battlefield, and a heavy blade cut into the armor of his back as he and his guard whirled on the attackers. Dozen of the silvered armored foes spread out before him, already in the heat of combat, as if they hadn't just appeared before them out of thin air. The aliens' tyrant guard were swept away in a ferocious battle. Wow. The alien tyrant guard were swept away in a ferocious battle with nearly a dozen of the custodians, and the dreadnought that had struck its blow stood across from it. A machine of dark age technology, a blade taller than a custodian and wreathed in an orange light that shifted like magma, lay in one hand, and a crimson shield marked with the damage of thousands of battles lay in the other. The ancient machine roared and threw himself into combat with the Hive tyrant. Blow after blow was dealt, but the Hive tyrant found itself lacking in comparison to the mighty machine. It was slowly battered until the machine hacked off 2 of its arms and buried the titanic blade deep in its guts, the tip of it exploding from between its shoulder blades. The alien gave a final scream of agony and rage, and the dreadnought activated the double heavy flamer set into the hilt of the sword, and the guts of the creature were incinerated in the fires of judgment by the Emperor's shadow.
All right.
Yeah.
See what you got going on there.
Yeah. I don't know if I like it being a Tyranid player, but whatever. So Mullins is tied with Ickbard with 22 points after calculating all of the community votes and factoring in his lore submission bonus. I have no points for reading, by the way. I'm losing points for reading. Marky, you got Sakers?
Sure. Oh man, you're giving me this one with like all these made up words. Saker, come on, man.
Haut Cavalos Crom.
Haut Cavalos Crom, the Dragon Liege, Bane of Champions, and the Reaper of Souls. Current ruler of the Order of the Dragon Shard, a caste of Ozark, perfectionist, seeking to improve upon Nagash's design. Crom is feared and respected as one of the greatest generals under the disposal of the Arch Necromancer, riding upon Heldrake, a steed fueled by the restless souls of worms and dragons alike. His blackened form is proof of his accomplishments, being made from the shards of personally falled draconian beast and fashioned into a fine body. Restless spirits shriek whenever he rides onto the field, knowing the blood shall be spilt. Knowing that blood shall be spilt.
This is one of those like models and paint jobs that makes me want to start and then This is one of those models and like paint jobs that makes me want to start an entire army.
I just think of it like when the skulls were like running and they're like, "Let's get out of here," from Evil Dead.
So,
all right, who
what am I doing? Scoreboard. Scoreboard.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so Saker has, after counting up the community points and giving him his bonus for giving us some lore, he has 25 points. All right, this is the big one.
All right.
All right. Who wants
I got
Stranger,
this
who
one.
wants Alien, and who wants Galvaris?
Oh, I was just gonna read the whole thing.
I'll take Stranger.
Do we think Elion is a guy or a girl?
We'll say girl.
All right, you want me to...
Yeah, I was like, if you're gonna do it,
what?
yes. If it's you doing a girl voice, yes.
Galvaris, is that you?
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
All right, Tom.
I'll take.
Baby?
You can take. I'll read the intro part, and then Mark, you're taking Galvarius, right?
Stranger.
You take Galvarius.
Okay.
All right. I'll take Stranger just to kick it off, and then you guys can finish it. How's that?
All right, sounds good.
All right. All right. It's been 27 lunar days since we arrived on this planet, and yet this was the first time in all 27 days on this planet of Avalon where I've come to recognize just how stunning the moons were. It's strange. I can't believe just how wonderful it looks tonight. I can't believe I've never seen it in such amazing light before. The moons seem to have almost been calling out to me as the wonderfully pale yellow moonlight illuminated the path leading deep into the overgrown jungle. My heart is beating faster now, as I stumbled upon this beautiful sight, and I couldn't help but explore the path and see where it leads. The path was still dark, but was still a stunning sight as the moonlight continued to illuminate my path. Using a fallen tree as a guide down this dark illuminated path, almost tripping a few times along the way, I fully intended to explore the full length of this path, at least until a voice seems to have pierced the void. Elian, what are you doing out here? The man asked while shining his flashlight at him as he stood in the dark.
I guess it is a him.
Damn!
Galvarius, is that you?
Yes, it's me now. Come back to town. What are you even doing out here so far away from town? He asked.
Did you not see it? Did you not see how glorious the path was just now in the dark because of the moons? Just before you ruined it with that flashlight of yours. He replied as he pointed in the direction of the path.
Elliot, what are you talking about? The moons are behind us. There's nothing over there but the dark moon and more jungle, he exclaimed, pointing in the opposite direction where the moons are just above the horizon and just a few hours away from daybreak. In utter disbelief, he turned around and stared into the void and saw nothing. The once enchanting sight he saw is now a void filled with nothing but the diffused light of Galvarius' flashlight. However, a brief moment, the pale moons reappeared, except this time there was another set of pale yellow orbs that pierced through the void as the silence was suddenly shattered by the joint, terrified screams of two men as the large maws of the creature consumed them just as quickly as the void of the jungle swallowed up the light left behind from the flashlight. Goddamn.
All right. So semi-serious nerd. This is his submission, and he sits at 31 points when accounting for community votes and the bonus for his lore. I also like that he incorporated one of the Crusade World planets that Tom is working on. I think that's pretty cool.
Right, you talk about freaking Avalon, homie. That's Arthur's house. Talk about Arthur's house.
Right. All right, guys. Well, to start us off, we're going to go ahead and give you guys the votes from Chuck and Rugen. Actually, we're going to give you the votes of Rugen and then Chuck. So Rugen gave his third place vote to Mullins. He gave his second place vote. Wait, let me get to the doing this wrong. All right. He gave his third place vote to Mullins. All right. He gave his second place vote to to Saker. And he gave his first place vote to Semi-Serious Nerd.
I can respect that.
So that brings our scoreboard up to Semi-Serious Nerd in first place with 40 points, Saker in second with 31 points, Mullins in third with 25 points, and Ickbard in fourth with 22 points. So next up, we've got Chuck. And Chuck gave his third place vote to Ickbard. He gave his second place vote to Saker. And he gave his first place vote to Semi-Serious Nerd.
Looking like a landslide right now for Semi.
That brings the scoreboard to Semi-Serious Nerd in first place with 49 points, Saker in second place with 37 points, Mullins and Ickbard tied for third place at 25 points. All right, guys, are you ready? Who wants to give their? Actually, Marky, I've got you down first, so you get to go first. Do you need me to remind you, or do you remember?
I think I have it right here. So for me, third place vote is going to go to Mullins. I love the scheme. I love the magma effect on the sword. That shit is dope. The base, dude, I love his bases. The Mars bases with like the metal cogs and the stone. Always
bases are always
amazing job. I've seen the whole army all put like all in parade formation, and it looks amazing. I dig it, man. You did an amazing job. Good shit. Keep it up.
Yeah, this is an awesome model.
For my second, I chose Semi-Serious Nerd, and I gotta say,
excellently done,
dude. The amount of time you spent on this model doing that like line work for the skin, I'm sure it took forever. The spit coming out of the mouth, amazing. You get another one.
Excellently done.
And the base is just, dude. It's your paint jobs. Every time you submit, dude, they're always blowing me away. It's some good stuff. And for my first place, I got to give it to Ick, dude.
Excellently done,
dude. Oh my God. When I give my votes out, it has to do a lot with how you progress as a painter, the different techniques that you're using, the just the style, the color scheme. I take it all into account, including the base. And I got to say, this is like one of the most top-notch paint jobs I've seen you do. And goddamn, dude, that thing is amazing. The wings, the skin, the scales, the base, the water, how you tied it into your lore. It's some good stuff, man. Some good stuff.
Groovy.
All right, that's me.
All right, so with Marky's votes tabulated, that brings us to Semi-Serious Nerd maintaining first place with 55 points. Saker in second place with 37 points. Ickbard moves up to third place with 34 points. And Mullins in fourth place at 28 points. All right. I have myself down next, Tom. You want me to go or you want to take it?
Yeah, that's fine. Go for it.
All right. So for my third place, I'm going to go with, or I went with, Saker. This is an awesome model. This is an amazing paint job. I really like specifically the blending on this cloak. I like a lot of the bone effects that he put into stuff. The bone is something that I get, being that I have a lot of bone in several of my different armies. It's something that I pay a lot of attention to. It's also
boners for.
oh yeah, I get boners for bones. It's also one of those. It's great to see somebody jump in. Saker had been part of the community for like 2 or 3 days. When the last contest started, he jumped in full force. It's just really cool to see something come out immediately from a new participant,
100%.
somebody new. It's awesome. My biggest gripes, my critiques, not my gripes, my critiques are a little bit more on the base, but I kind of have a feeling you were going for like Desolate Wasteland, or you might be somebody who just likes a black base, which is
I
fine.
was just gonna say, I don't see nothing wrong here.
The only other thing that I would comment on, or that I would, I guess, critique overall, would be it was on, I had it, and it's gone. So apparently it wasn't that important.
I was just gonna say that. I was like, it wasn't that important.
No, it's a beautiful paint job. It really is. All right, so for my second place, I went with Icbard. So this is an amazing model. This is an amazing paint job. I'm always a huge fan of gold dragons. I'm a huge fan of dragons in general. I really like the contrast, the gold of the blue with the wings. I really like the base, the way that it looks like water. And I know that had been a little bit of a challenge. That had been something that he had been trying to nail really well. I overall really like it. The only critique I would have for you is there's a couple of little places where there's a little bit of overpaint. I know we all do it. I'm 100% guilty of not cleaning up all my edges too. So it's not really no harm, no foul, but just from a like critique standpoint. And then the other thing, I really like the base and I really like what you did with it. And I know what you've done since then. So I know that you've got a lot more texture in your water bases now, but it would have been cool to see a little bit more texture in the water base. The other thing on the base is the green stone doesn't have a lot of contrast to it. Like maybe like an ink or something may have helped. I don't know. I mean, but overall, I fucking love the model. I think it's fantastic. So
100%, dude. Amazing model. Good paint job.
Amazing. He did it. He's the one. He wrote that lore.
Yeah,
all right. So my first place is Semi-Serious Nerd. Right off the bat, right off the gate, the progress that I've seen all of you guys make painting your armies, but the progress that I've seen Semi make is fucking amazing. I know you're getting ready to put in some competition pieces at Adepticon and a couple of other places, and like do it, dude, because holy shit.
Wow.
It's just awesome. Yeah.
I can't not do it. I'm sorry.
I also really like that he reached out to the community when he was painting and was like, hey, the base just doesn't feel quite done. What can I do? And a couple of other things. I love the spit. This texture effect, this effect paint is technical paint is amazing.
And ask him how he did it.
Yeah.
I should do it on my bio later.
I'm always a big fan of spit.
And it's just such a fucking clean looking model.
Wow.
It's very aggressive and all that.
Wow.
Critiques that I've got for you, and this is a really hard one, and I struggle with it all the time. I think we all do. Is there's a couple these larger resin models. I'm assuming it's a resin model. I'm assuming it's like a custom resin kit. There's mold lines. It can be really, really tough to deal with them, and sometimes you don't even see them until you're painting. And I know that struggle. The only other thing, and this is
Ryan's got OCD when it comes to mold lines.
I do, and I'm not, I'm not always the best at it. Sometimes I'm just over it and I don't clean them up. So, but the only other thing that I would say is I really like the aquarium plants. I think it's really dope. They do kind of stand out a little bit though. I don't know what I don't think inking it really would have helped. I don't know. It just, they do definitely stand out as being a little bit more plasticky than anything else. And I get it. I did a lot of aquarium plants for terrain with my Catachan army way back in the day, or my Catachan table way back in the day, and it looks really, really cool. And then it just, at the same time, kind of looks like plastic plant. It's weird.
It pulls away from the model a little bit.
A little bit, yeah. And I don't know what the answer to that is. I don't know if it's spraying it with, white primer, like a white zenithal, and then just going back in and putting in highlights. I don't know if it's
probably I'd say a flat primer.
Yeah, just something.
Using just a flat clear coat, so then or a satin clear coat, so it gets rid of the shine of the plastic. That would probably do it.
Yeah, probably. But I mean, overall, I was wowed. I was blown away by this model. I was honestly blown away by everybody's submission, and Mullins, having seen your army completely painted and having seen your army completely painted by Iowog, which was a goal that we both set and I missed. Like, fuck, man, dude, it's awesome. Your army looks amazing. But this model took it. All right. So at the end of my voting, Semi-Serious maintains his lead at 64 points. We have Saker and Ickbard neck and neck for second place at 40 points, and Mullins in third place at 28 points. So, Tom, it is over to you, sir.
All right. So my number 3, I'm going to go ahead and go with Saker. I am a big fan of the Night Haunts. Their models and paint schemes, and the fact that like the little dude underneath with the sword is like basically nailed it. Plus the bone, like anybody that can paint bone is pretty impressive to me. And the cloak, like the shading and stuff, because like I've tried numerous times to do it too, and I can't. So anybody else that can do it gets mad props for me. So definitely that one as my number 3. My number 2 is actually going to be Ick with his Draco, straight up, dragon. Of course, I play knights, dude. Of course, I like dragons. But the big one is, I mean, even Mark had touched base on it, like people's progression and stuff like that. And I always have felt kind of bad because I think Ick's art is always really good, but I've never placed it like top. At least I don't remember if I have or not. And this one is really kind of an evident of his growth as a painter, because it's phenomenal. I mean, the gold is great, but honestly, like that's not even the part that I look at. I look at the head of the dragon, because the way that everything kind of shines, but then the head is kind of a dulled out, and it's more of like a bone gray, but it's not too much to where it takes away from everything else, because balancing gold is really hard. And I think this whole model really does kind of balance the gold of what the dragon is, which is, like I said, it's a really hard thing to do. So definitely that one is my number 2. Plus, like I said, fucking Draco, man, Dragonheart, dude. My number 1 is also basically Ryan and I have the same. Semi-Serious Nerd is going to be my first place pick. Kaiju. Enough said. Honestly, it's a kaiju. That was like the first thing I looked at. Is I was like, oh yeah, fucking kaiju. And everybody knows how much I love Pacific Rim, so I'm always gonna go for the big tentacly monster if it's not a giant robot. So this one, of course, the guys have said it before, but yeah, I mean, it is stunningly done. Anybody that can do flesh tones like that, especially with like gray, like how do you make gray look 3D? You know what I mean? And then all of the effects and stuff. I actually really like even though I had said something about the plants, I actually really like them as they are, because I think that, it's kind of the way I view my bases too. Like plain base. I like the plants to be very, very vibrant. That was always something I've liked in sci-fi, science fiction movies. Star Wars does that a lot, where the plant life is like almost overpoweringly bright compared to everything else, because I enjoy that, because oftentimes it's in the background. So when the background punches you in the face, it's like, ooh, this is changing up things.
Yeah, kind of like
I get
Avatar.
that. I get that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like Avatar, where something that is oftentimes forgotten and not seen stands out. And you know, I like when things that I'm not expecting catch my eye. You know, obviously the model's great. I think the best parts for me, the part that I like the most, are the horns. I've tried numerous times to paint horns myself, and I fail miserably. So the fact that like these are just pretty much like, oh yes, that's a horn, and the little mohawks these little things have going down, like it looks like real hair. So
Yeah, the hair looks really fucking
hair on a model to me is one of like, that's usually, I think I voted for a Magnus, and one of the things that got me was the hair. So it's, if you can nail that, I think that shows how much of like a skilled artist you are. You know, because that's a very, very hard thing to do. Most people, it's just one color, it goes on. But, you know, having a shine and having where it's like almost like individual strands of hair have a different color, have a different shine to them, like it's impressive. The detail on this one, it makes it stand out as number one all by itself, you know, without even going into any of the technical aspects.
Yeah, yeah. That's it.
So-
It's an awesome fucking model.
That's my 3.
And Kevin is
Vanished.
so we're moving on.
So I guess I just to kind of round it out, I guess I didn't necessarily notice why the dragon like intrigued me and appealed to me so much, but Tom hit the nail on the head. The fact that the head it's not as shiny is
Dope detail.
yeah,
I really
it's
like it.
amazing.
When Tom pointed that out, I was like, God, I love the model even more now, because I didn't
Yep.
really catch on to that at first. But yeah, like it gives it so
It's-
much more life that way.
It's
Yeah,
really hard to balance out a gold body.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, and being able to do that by dulling down the head to where it's more focused on the bone aspect, like chef's kiss.
Yeah, 100%.
And I'm definitely getting a little bit more into the Blanchetsu style myself, and I think that's kind of starting to color the way that I look at painted models. I used to be very like heavy, like the last couple of contests I've been very heavy metal minded, and now I'm a lot more like Blanchetsu minded. So
What is
as you
that again?
guys-
We've talked about it numerous times, but I can never remember the definition.
it's the like grim dark
Necromancer.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
yeah, okay. Grimdark, yeah, fair enough.
And I think that I can see wanting to see you guys push more contrast just overall. I love all of these. This was a very hard one to judge.
100%. This one was probably, I feel like I say this every damn time, but this one was
But they
probably
just
one of
make
the
it-
hardest to vote for.
Oh
You're just
yeah, and
making it harder.
don't get me wrong. Like shout out to Mullins, because you know Dreadnought,
It's
bro.
amazing,
Like I'm
yeah.
a giant robot. I'm all about it. But I think it was just for me. The other ones kind of.
But big giant kaiju wins.
Yeah. I was like, you nail on the head right there, dude.
Yeah.
Like
Tom-
giant robots, my love, but kaiju.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like the Pacific Rim for sure.
I really
There's
do,
just
man.
like there's just like a little area right here where the copper meets the silver that I kind of want to see like a darker oily grime. And I get they're custodes, so they're cleaner, they polish a little bit more. I totally understand why. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just pointing out this is entirely stylistic at this point.
The dust on the boot.
But
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah,
no,
the
I,
dust on
dude,
the
you
boot's
can't you
amazing.
can't go wrong with Mars
Right.
base.
You can't. It looks so good.
Yeah,
And that
if
was
I
actually-
if I wasn't doing what I was doing for all my nights, I would have gone Mars base.
Yeah.
And that-
Saber, thank you for the submission. We always appreciate
yeah.
it, man. Come back. Dude, it has progressed. You like this being
Out
your
the
first
gate.
submission. Yeah, out the gate, that badass, dude.
and that I'm unstumbling over the thing that I like stumbled on earlier. You've got this glow effect inside the
Yep.
dragon horse. I'm not seeing the glow touch except maybe like on the ribs here, and like that little bit, that little tiny bit, and it doesn't, like, as Tom's pointed out before, you can overdo object source lighting really easily. I feel like the chef's kiss would have been a little bit of OSL here, a little bit. And I know that that's a really difficult thing. I'm super looking forward to seeing what you paint next. Yeah, Tom's not gonna like me at all.
Object source lighting sucks.
Yeah, I love it when it's blown out of proportion.
Yeah. It's like, you're some fucking Michael Bay movie.
I blow that shit up, man. If you do object source lighting, you're gonna get my vote. That's just a little. That's a tip.
Your
tip.
Your object source lighting is like the fucking new Star Trek with the fucking lens flare that sets
everywhere. The J.J. Abrams lens flare.
That's it, J.J. Abrams. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's skin, dude. I tried to replicate like that style on my Violator, and it's hard. So trying to replicate
all these little tiny,
properly, like I respect it, dude. So good.
Well, guys, you constantly blow us away. If I were to give you guys any overall tips as you run into, or as you charge headlong into this Halloween submission,
that's Tom's. That's Ryan's tip.
someone paint a kaiju.
Yeah, there you go.
But give it to me, and then give it to me when it's done.
Let's see all that. I want to see that grime. I want to see that Mag 28 flash. I want to see that Blanchetsu dirtiness, that grim darkness on a couple of models.
And I want to see gnarly contrast in OSL. That's me personally. We all vote differently.
Off.
So I was gonna say, we all vote very differently.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
no matter
which person do you want the first place vote from? That's really the question. It's not about who wants to win first place. It's who wants what first place vote.
Exactly.
And a lot of that comes down to, we go over and we discuss your guys' models, and we go back and forth as we're seeing the submissions come in. And there's a lot of very, very good technique. Everybody has very good technique. We see people push incredible technique and level of details, which is awesome, but we want to keep seeing it. But there's nothing I think fundamental about anybody that I would go like, hey, look, you really need to go back and you need to look at what whites mean and what blacks mean and what color shift means. Like, nobody is at a point where I feel that there's any big technical aspect of painting that's being missed. And
honestly,
that's why
I'm never even going to say that anyway, because you know what? At least you're trying.
100%.
Yeah.
As long as you're here showing up,
That's
and you're
what the Red
painting and you're
Squig's
doing
about.
your hobby. Exactly. Yeah.
This isn't Golden Demon. This isn't like
no, it's Red
push
Squig.
yourself to the
But
limit.
it's still one of those things where, like, we're gonna try to critique. We're gonna try to give you guys like little tips, I guess. Not that they're important. Not that any of us have won anything. Wait. No, I take that back. Tom won.
Of all people, I am one. See, it just goes to show you don't have to be any good.
Dude, that paint job was amazing. Don't give yourself shit, man.
Yeah, that paint job, dude.
I don't know. When's that video gonna drop?
One day. We're always gonna hate our own work too. So the fact that you guys paint all the way through and submit is amazing. I want to see more stuff. I'm super happy that we're giving away trophies to new people each time. But I'm letting you guys know. Yeah, I'm letting you guys know it's a hard race sometimes. Somebody's gonna get two. Somebody's gonna get two in the next. I guarantee you, somebody's gonna end up with a second Red Squig in the next contest.
I thought Josh was gonna get the second one last time.
Yeah. It's really just boils down to who you play to. It really is. That's my favorite part of this whole thing. Because you'll see people and you'll be like, you're doing that now. I see. Okay, all right.
So I stalled enough to see if Kevin would send us his votes. All right, guys.
He didn't.
Nah, he did not. All right, so with Tom's votes tabulated in, we are ready to give you guys the final scoreboard and to announce the winner. In fourth place with 28 points is Mullins. Mullins, fucking fantastic job. Love it. Love the entire army. It was great seeing it in person, and I honestly can't wait to see your Gene Stealer cult stuff that you're working on now. In third place with 43 points is Saker. Saker, again, I absolutely love the model. Can't wait to see what you do next. I'm not sure what you're doing next. I'm pretty sure you submitted it already, but I definitely am looking forward to seeing what you do next, man. In second place with 46 points is Ickbard with that awesome fucking dragon.
My boy Eek.
It's for you, Ick.
Just for him.
I love the chainsaw like randomly
Like,
in the
right
background.
Ick, again, awesome fucking model. Tom pointed out details I didn't even notice, which is like the best. When it strikes you so much that you know where it's going to be, and then somebody points out a couple of details, and you're like, "Oh shit, it's even cooler." That's an awesome place, I feel. And then in first place with 73 points is Semi-Serious Nerd. Man, this
Hell yeah, kaiju.
This monster is fucking sick, dude. I can't wait to see what you're submitting next. And sorry, Semi, after the 3 incredibly professionally painted trophies by Marky, you're getting a non-professionally painted trophy by me.
Danger.
All right, guys. Yeah, so if you guys are catching us for the first time, we have a Patreon. It's patreon.com/underthehiveofmadness. If you head on over there right now, you can join us. And at only $3 a month, not only do you get access to video versions of our podcasts, which I'll talk about in a second.
Best way to watch.
Thank you. But you also have the opportunity to get involved in our painting contests. And our next one is all about Halloween. We want to see those orcs. We want to see those monsters. We want to see that spooky dooky shit that you guys want to paint.
Spooky dooky dooky.
Done.
If you guys want to email us questions about the painting contests that we hold here on YouTube, any of the other videos that we have on YouTube as far as battle reports and our Crusade games, or if you want to connect with us about the podcast, you can do so at underthehiveofmadness@gmail.com or jimdarkgaming@gmail.com. If you guys want to get a little bit more involved, please head on over and check us out on Discord. That's an awesome growing community. There is no cost to be involved in our Discord. You can join right now just by clicking that link.
And you can bug all of us all the time because we're on there all the time.
That's right. If you guys don't know, if you're here just for the vidges, we do a podcast once a week. On Wednesday, we release a podcast episode dealing with Warhammer 40k lore, creative writing in the Warhammer 40k universe, or hobby things that strike our fancy. We are in the middle of our creative writing, horror, and suspense series right now. We're finishing up next week, and then we're going to jump into some cool spooky dooky territory as we march on towards Halloween.
The fight is not over, brother.
So yeah, please check us out where you can. You guys have anything you wanted to shout out? Anything I missed?
Nope, think you got it all. We appreciate all the support, everyone. Oh,
I did fuck up. We're also in a couple of different places online. If Discord isn't your thing, you can find us on Facebook. You can find us on Instagram. You can find us on Twitter. And you can find multiples of us on Twitter, and you can find us on Did I do Instagram already?
I think so. I think that was the first one.
I'm also pretty active on TikTok, but yeah. Now, is there anything I left out?
Nope. Just that we appreciate all the support. We appreciate all of it, guys. All the support. When you guys listen to the podcast, we love it. We appreciate you.
Yeah. And smash that subscribe button and hit that like. We do release our podcast episodes on YouTube, so you can find them here as well. And we also have other content that we try to get out to you guys every couple of weeks.
Yeah, and pass this around. We don't mind being bicycles. We are completely happy to be village bicycles. Pass this around. Show us to your friends. Honestly, one of the things that I've seen is someone else just start playing stuff and ultimately getting into the Discord and joining our gaming groups and stuff like that. It's a lot of fun to see that grow.
Hell yeah. All right, guys. Well, thank you very much. We will see you with another painting contest in a couple of months, and the host contests should be up soon for your viewing pleasure.
Later.